All right, Mo Crawler again. This is Sky Knight. This is my VRD straight axle build, and got him on the Mias 8A as usual. You can see here that he's got F10 axles, straight axles, so he's got wicked steering angle. It's a super fast AGFRC steering servo that I'll show you here in a second, and he's got that SE, so he can go real slow. But okay, so let's, oh, he's got one little party trick. So here again, I've got a voltmeter. So let's pop the body off. We'll pop that JST that does the voltmeter. We can turn them off. See the battery situation. I really like what some people call belt and suspenders. So got some Velcro on this tray that sticks down, and this strap goes over the top and, you know, holds it in even a little more. So this tray is just a piece of Kydex that I have bolted to the Reefs winch servo mount for the VRD. You can see it's a Proline cliffhanger body. Nothing super special about it. I do have some drift stitches in it. So this truck was actually, we'll turn off the radio as well. This truck is actually the first of the Touristas with Crawler Canyon. So if you look at Crawler Canyon on YouTube, you look at his playlist called Touristas. This was the first truck in that series. So I built this out of a VRD straight axle kit, and I painted this body up. And I was kind of in discussions. I had emailed and talked to Crawler Canyon a little bit about the potential of doing a series, or the potential of me sending in this truck for him to test on his rocks and see how it does, and give me some advice on tuning, modification, you know, things that I needed to do to the truck. And I kind of presented it to him, you know, so, you know, 24 Yep does roasting rigs. And I said, you know, it could turn into something like that. And it actually has, a little bit at least. He's had a couple more since then, which I think is pretty cool. It's kind of neat to be a part of that, kind of neat to be part of the first one. But I got it built. I was testing it, tried some different tires. These are JConcepts rock blocks is what I kind of ended up on. But I got the body painted, and I hadn't really driven it outside when I started talking with Crawler Canyon. And I thought, well, I've done some little testing here at the house, but I want to make sure it's, you know, not going to be terrible. I mean, it's a VRD, right? And all of the components are good components, I think. So I assumed it would be good, or at least relatively good, right? But I thought, well, I better take it out and, you know, hit some rocks with it and really kind of test it before I send it up there. And he goes, man, this thing's terrible, right? So I did, and the very first obstacle I took it up, the 1800, so it's got a Hobby Wing Fusion SE 1800 in it. The Fusion SE got away from me a little bit because I wasn't used to having that much throttle response. This thing is really spicy. 1800 kV on straight axles. If you pin that throttle, it will jump. And it did. It jumped, it flipped over backwards, landed right on that seam, right on the top of the door there on a hard rock and split. So I thought, well, that's great. And I surely wasn't going to spend another $50 on another cliffhanger body and then the paint and all of that. So I just, I mean, I don't know if you don't know about drift stitches, they're super easy. So you take your body reamer, that you would drill your holes for your body posts, and you just go on either side of the crack, and then you take zip ties and you put zip ties through the holes, and they're called drift stitches. And I have several trucks. I've done that to several bodies over the years. It actually works surprisingly well. I have not really had one that crack extended further after I put drift stitches in it. So if you got a body that's cracked and you still want to use it, take your body reamer, put holes on either side of it, just like stitches, you know, in skin, and throw some zip ties in there, and that should at least stop the stop the progression of the cracking. So anyway, so these were originally, there are squid inserts in these tires right now for the rock blocks. They work very well. There's not a lot of static bag in these, but they are very soft. Like the first stage is very soft, so they do comply very well to rocks whenever you're driving it. And but they are very rigid this way. So if you go to apply side hill type pressure on the insert, they don't collapse. And this thing side hills very well. You can see even there it wants to kind of fall back, and it will do the stand on its side thing. I don't know how valuable that ability is, but this one will do it. So the truck itself, again, it's a VRD. It's a VRD straight axle kit from Vanquish. And there's a builder's VRD builder's kit series that you guys can watch if you're interested in the building of this one and all the particulars of it without the body, because I hadn't gotten that far when I made that series of videos. But so, and you'll see that it has the carbon rails. So the carbon rails are courtesy of Crawler Canyon because he swapped me out for the aluminum rails that came on this kit. So you can't buy this like this, or I mean, you could buy the straight axle builder's kit and then buy a set of carbon rails, but if you buy a VRD kit, you will not get these rails. These are the carbon rails. So let's see, the basics are, it's entirely stock, save these covers for the axles, for the diff covers are AMK is the company that makes them on Amazon. So those are new. It does have a Mias underdrive gear in the rear axle too. So the stock VRD transmission has 6% overdrive. This gets you 11%, so it's 17% roughly overall overdrive. All the links are from the kit. Drive shafts are from the kit. Sliders, everything else is straight out of the VRD straight axle kit. The front knuckles are AMK as well, and they're the front knuckles for AR-44s. So they don't fit exactly as the ones from the kit would, which means that the drag link or the tie rod here will not work. So the kit tie rod will not work with these knuckles. This is from an Axial SCX10 Pro is what this tie rod is from. But if you get that tie rod, then the drag link and the servo horn, everything out of the kit works fine. This is an AGFRC 62 kg direct power servo. It is crazy strong, it's crazy fast. It's expensive, but it works really well. I did replace so the kit comes with plastic spacers here. I replaced them with the aluminum spacers. It also comes with a plastic motor mount. I went ahead and put the aluminum motor mount into it. The gears are all the gears that came out of the kit, so they're all stock gears. You know, skid plate is stock. This is a Mias 10A, so I don't remember where I got this from, but it came with one of the radios, one of the Mias radios. They will all talk to each other. You can bind them. So this, I'm using an 8A radio and a 10A receiver, but they work together just fine. This is obviously the switch for my Hobby Wing Fusion SE 1800 kV. I also, since its trip to the canyon, it was didn't descend all that great. It tipped over quite a bit. So I did go ahead and put the SSD weights on the back axle. So these two weights here are from SSD. They are brass. I don't remember exactly what they weigh, but they do help with descending. So it's much less flippy on descent now than it was when it went to Crawler Canyon, because I added some weight in the rear. It was very front biased. Now it's less so, but it's still about 6 pounds. Just over 6 pounds for the whole rig, so it's fairly light. I did spend a ridiculous amount of money on this little blue aluminum cover for the rear because I wanted it to kind of match the theme. There's a little bit of blue in this guy. He's mostly white and black with a little bit of silver, but there is a little bit of blue, so that was kind of an accent piece. I've got Deluxe 85, 82, I don't remember, 92. They're the shorts. They're not the super shorts, I don't think, and they're not the super long. I think they're right in the middle. But the Deluxe shocks with the blue bands, the lightest springs that they offer. These are AMK bumpers. This is the one with the fair lead on it, and then in the rear, just some real simple kind of close-in bumpers, so they don't interfere with approach and departure much. And for the winch, we've got an Endura micro servo winch, and it all lines up well again with that Reefs servo winch mount. So that's Sky Knight. I don't know what kind of wheels these are. Something off Amazon. I don't know. It's not coming to me, but they're just, you know, cheapy bead locks from Amazon. They might be Enduras, but that might not be right either. But anyway, just some wheels, nothing special there. There are no weights in any of the wheels, so they're the standard aluminum rings that come with these. There's no brass inside any of these wheels. They're right-handed and left-handed because of the way JConcepts makes them, but there's no front or back as far as the tires are concerned. I can swap them, and it won't make any difference because neither of these are weighted more or less than the other. Body posts are all factory. I did trim those back a little bit because I put my battery up there, and they stick out a little bit. I think in the kit they have you mount it like one hole back so they don't stick out the front. So I moved them forward and then just took those little ends off. I do have a JST plug coming out here. There's actually a splitter there as well. So there's one of the JSTs runs the direct power servo, and then I split off of that for a little bit of extra power to run my my voltmeter. So other than that, that's about it. It's a very good crawler. It does very well. It climbs well. Again, you can watch that video. Now I have made some modifications. The inserts are different now, and I've got some weights in the back here. But other than that, it's exactly as it was when it went to Crawler Canyon. So if you watch that first episode of Turistas, you can see it in action. It does very well. I think it would do even better now because, again, it would descend better because I have that weight in the back, and it's got better inserts. So it would. I don't think I would lose any forward drive. I don't think I would lose any climbing ability because the inserts are gonna boost that up, and the rear weights are gonna boost the ability to descend without just basically going ass over tea kettle, which is what it would do before. So it's a good truck. It was a fun build, and I know Crawler Canyon doesn't recommend the VRD straight axle builder's kit. He thinks you're better off buying the carbon. I wanted straight axles. I've got some portal trucks. I've got some straight axle trucks, and I wanted to see how this thing does on straight axles. Portals get a little tippy for me most of the time. I know they offer ground clearance advantages and things, but side hill tends to be an issue with portals. I mean, it's whatever you prefer, right? I'm not going to say I prefer straight axles over portals. It's just in this configuration, when I was trying to do a real, kind of, I don't want to say competitive, but a real rock crawler, I wanted to see what was possible with the VRD chassis and all the Vanquish components and straight axles. So that was the idea behind this truck. So maybe someday I'll build more of a stance, with the or a VRD carbon, kit with the portal F10s. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the straight axle version that we have here. Sky Knight. So thanks.